Hey everybody, this is Brad Brewer with Liberty News 1776. Just coming to you guys real quick to go over exactly what's been happening today in the news. You've probably seen it. It's the executive order Donald Trump put into place with the refugee ban from Muslim nations. Now, before you start, I know what many people are already saying. Brad, this isn't a refugee ban. This is a Muslim ban.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
wrong.
Proved over and over again.
Wrong.
He actually had.
Well, no, it's not. Anyone coming from those countries, doesn't matter if they are from those countries originally. They could be a German if they came here to the United States and they had legal status, but then they left and went to one of those countries. When they try to come back, they are going to be detained until we can figure out who they are. So Donald Trump's executive order is in place now, refugee ban in place, and honestly, the people who would assume have problems with this are having huge problems with it. If you look at JFK, if you look at Dulles, if you look at many of the major airports around the United States, they're having huge problems with picketing and rioting and all that good stuff, all the stuff that the left likes to do, which I completely support their right to do so. It's their free speech. They can do it, but they've got to realize something. They look silly trying to say it's a racist,
The racist.
Muslim ban when that's not at all what this is. What this is a way for our country to be careful with who's being allowed into this country. So we can be careful and make sure we have vetted them properly. The ban is not in place forever. Obviously not. The ban is short term. What that's going to do is a few things. It's going to allow us to have time to set up a specific and detailed process to allow them to come in. See, a lot of these countries don't have papers. They don't have their passports. They don't have whatever they would need, visas, anything. So let you know who they are. So that's a huge problem. Now you're probably saying, Brad, why is that a huge problem? They're just trying to run away from the wars there. So we should let them in. If that was the only reason they were coming, that would not be a problem. Here's the issue. Mixed in with all of those refugees that very possibly are legitimate are quite a few issues with ISIS and radical Muslims slipping in there, because they've said it directly. They said to us, ISIS and other groups like them said, what we're going to do is we're going to do our best to infiltrate the refugees and go to the countries where they're going, where we can then do our terrorist acts and we can do whatever we want to do and cause terror in those countries. We already see it in France. We already see it throughout the European Union. Big issues. People are getting run over by trucks. People are getting blown up. People are getting shot at. People are getting, unfortunately, tons and tons and tons of ladies are being raped on a regular basis. The rape rates are going through the roof in those countries. Huge issues. Things that we don't want here in the United States. So something Trump ran on, and it's crazy that a politician would actually try to do the things he ran on. What he said was he's going to put a temporary ban in place. And guess what? Here it is. So for all of you that are whining about it, you had fair warning. Donald Trump ran on a platform that he was going to stop illegal immigration, that he was going to build a border wall, that he was going to repeal Obamacare, that he was going to fix the economy, that he was going to take care of our vets, and that he was going to put a temporary ban from countries, from Muslim countries, until we can figure out what's happening and figure out who they are and vet them properly. I understand the issue with many people that are screaming about this, that you don't understand how in the world a president actually does what he said he was going to do. Donald Trump is different because all the other politicians would say one thing, but get into the office and do something completely different. Donald Trump is keeping his promises. Like them or not, you have to at least give him respect for the fact that he's doing what he said he was going to do. Now, specifically what I want to talk about today was one story that I thought was really interesting. Iraqi national, an Iraqi interpreter for the United States military, for our government. His name is Hameed Darwish. He was, like you say, he was detained today in the airport there, JFK in JFK Airport. And he was becoming a focal point, quite a news story. He was going to be a darling of the left because they were going to use him to prove that, hey, this isn't going to work. This is going to ban people that are good people from coming into our country. This man has obviously done some good stuff there. He's a translator for our troops. He helps them there, and he helps them here on the home front as well. Well, what happened is two representatives, two congressmen, Congress people, Representative Nadler and Representative Velasquez, both were doing all they could to be with Mr. Darwish as he came out of the airport, to show solidarity, to be there by his side, to watch as the reporters could ask him questions. Reporters did so. They started asking him questions about what he thought about being detained. He said he really didn't like it that much. Obviously, no one would really. He said, what do you think about America? He said, well, it's a land of freedom. It's the best country in the world. All of those things I agree with. And then he was asked the number one question, the question that they thought was going to be the one that would really stump them. He was asked, what do you think of President Trump? And to which he responded, I like Trump. Here's a man that understands the reasoning for what we're doing here. A Muslim man from Iraq, from a Muslim country, coming here legally. He's allowed to come here as an interpreter, as someone that's working with our military. He would even understood the importance of what Donald Trump is doing. The funny thing is that these two Congress people thought they were going to parade him around and be their little darling, but then they almost crapped their pants when he started talking about he actually liked Trump.
America is the greatest nation, the greatest people in the world. I like him, but I don't know. This is a policy. I don't know. He's a president, and I'm a normal person. But I have a special immigration visa in my passport, me and my family, because I work with the U.S. government. I support the U.S. government.
What we have to realize is that Donald Trump is doing what's best for this country. He's trying to make sure we can be safe again. It's been too long that we have to worry about radical Islam right here in the United States, and he wants to make sure that we don't have to worry that these refugees are infiltrated. So even Mr. Darwish, who is an Iraqi national and someone that was detained, has realized that this is important and this is something that's going to make America safe. I fully support it, and I hope you do too. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you like the video and go down below and put some comments in there to let me know what you think. Because I want to know if maybe you support it, maybe you don't support it, maybe you're somewhere in between and you're not sure. Let me know what you think. Once again, this is Brad Brewer with the Liberty News 1776 signing off.